It's Aloha Friday, my friends, and this is Billy Wiggly coming at you live from the Ninth Island, Las Vegas, Nevada. Woohoo! Gee-hoo! How's everybody doing so far? You staying positive? Yes, focus on the positives all the time and let those negatives roll on by. And let's keep on rolling. Check this out. Have you ever had something like this? You receive some data and it's not set up properly. There's tons of blank rows in it. We got blank rows right here, blank row right here. And when you know the 7 steps to Excel success, Excel's basics, you understand that when you're setting up your list, this is a list, you don't want to have any blank rows separating your data. So there's different ways of fixing that. So I've come up with 5 ways for you to remove blank rows. I'm sure there's a lot more ways of removing blank rows. And if you've got some really cool way that you do it, well, go ahead and let us know. There's so many different ways of doing the same thing in Excel. So just because somebody's doing something different than the way that you do it doesn't mean it's wrong. Maybe it's just different. So here we go. Check out this technique. Because I've got all these blank rows, I want to go ahead and remove them. So I'm going to select the entire range of data. And I'm going to go ahead and use my go-to special, which is F5. So I'll press F5. Then I hit my go-to special right here. And then I tell Excel what I'm looking for. I'm looking for blanks, Excel. Okay, cool. And then I press OK. Boom, there's all my blanks. Then I just press Control minus and OK. All the rows are gone. So let me show you 4 more ways to remove blank rows. Check it out. Poipu Estate Coffee from Kauai Coffee Company. I love it. I picked this up a couple weeks ago. You can order it online, except I just happen to be in Kauai, the first island, and I went to Kauai Coffee, got me some coffee. So check it out, my friends. Now we have done one of the 5 ways of removing blank rows. And the first one was using go-to special. Here's another one. Let's use the Autofilter. So here we have the same range of data. And in this case, it's just set up just like a list. This is a list, or it's called a range. Either way, it's the same, list or range. In our list, we don't want to have blank rows separating our data. So if I was to use the Autofilter, I'm going to press a shortcut called Control-Shift-L. Control plus the Shift plus the L. Control-Shift-L. And what that does is it activates the Autofilter. See that? Control-Shift-L. Let me zoom in a little bit more on the header row, and I'm going to press Control-Shift-L to turn off the filters, Control-Shift-L to turn them on. Off, on, off, on, off, on, just like that. So if I was to just go right ahead, I'm going to zoom in one more time and say, look, I'm just going to go ahead and filter out the blanks. I'm going to click on the drop down, and then where's the blanks? And as a matter of fact, I only see two fields, right? 2 bits of data. This is it, and act now. Well, that's because we've got these blank rows separating our data. But we've got a solution for this. What I always recommend is we turn our data into tables. Once you've got your data range all cleaned up and selected, formatted properly, looking good, go ahead and make it into a table. You can easily do that by just pressing Control T. Control T. And then now Excel is saying, hey, where is the data for your table? Well, we've already selected it. And now it asks, hey, does my table have headers? Yes, it does. So then we're going to press OK. Whoop. Press OK. And now, check this out. Because we're in a table, watch this. I can now filter out the blanks. See that I have the blanks right down here? Because we're in a table. Even though we have blank rows separating our data, because we're in a table, think of it as a container. It's containing all the data nicely in one table. So what I'll do here is I'll just go ahead and deselect everything and then just select the blanks. So deselect everything, select the blanks, press OK. And now what we got left right here are blanks. So I just go right ahead and select all the blank rows. And then I just press Control minus, boop, to take them out. Just like that. And then I can just clear my filter and no more blank rows. Another way of doing it. Now let's talk about sorting it out. Remember the key here for using the autofilter to sort out or to filter out the blank rows was to turn their data range into a table. And now let's talk about sorting out the blanks. And the way we're going to do that is we're just going to simply sort the data. Here, we can just go ahead and turn it into a table again, or we can just select the range that we want to sort, and then right click, and then we can just sort A to Z. Boom, and there we have it. Now we've sorted out all the blanks, and we just have our data set up nicely. Now it all depends which technique you're going to use on if it's just blank rows that you have or if you actually have blanks. So now let's go ahead and look at method number 4, get and transform. Get and transform is pretty cool. It's in the data group. Or click on the data tab, and this is get and transform data group right here. And this is so much fun. There's so much you can do here. I don't spend enough time in here. I'm focused on teaching you the basics of Excel. That makes it so that you can use these tools very easily because you've done the basics just right. If you don't get the basics down right, none of this is going to work for you. This is why we're doing this video today, because we know that blank rows don't work. So before we even try doing anything with this data, we're getting rid of these blank rows. So to get and transform, I'm going to go into my data tab, and in my data tab, in the get and transform data, I'm going to go from sheet. And what this is going to do, watch, get and transform, watch what it's going to do when I select from sheet. It's running right now in the background. And now it says, hey, where's that table? So I've got to actually select the entire data range so that Excel knows properly. Boom, there I have it. Now, yes, my table has headers. Now I press OK. And you see what the get and transform did? It turns it into a table so that then it can work with it. So here we are in the Power Query editor. And so we're just going to run right up here and go to reduce rows. And we're going to remove all the blank rows just like that. There's a whole lot of things you can do in the Power Query editor. I wish I would spend more time in here. I think maybe I will, because I feel confident that I know the basics and my data is going to be set up properly, so I'm not going to run into issues when I use the Power Query editor. So now I'm going to just close and load. And what it does is it creates another worksheet for me. See that right there? Ooh. And now here I've got my data. Now all you got to do is see it's a table. You can just change a format and say, hey, you know, I want to go back to the other format I had. You can just say, hey, you know, I'm going to leave it like this. You can take out the banded rows. You can put in banded rows, whatever you like. Then you can just turn this right back into a range. So we'll just go right back over here to our table design. This is our contextual tool tab that appears based on the context that we're in. If we click outside the table, there's no table design. Click inside the table. Now we have the table design tab. And here we're going to go and say, hey, convert this table to a range. And so now, for some reason, you want it to be just a range again. You just wanted to use a Power Query because maybe you had 50,000 rows, and that was the quickest, best way for you to remove all those blank rows. Make sure you read all the messages that come up. It's telling us this will permanently remove the query definition from the sheet and convert the table to a normal range. Do you want to continue? Yes, I do. Press OK. And now we're back to a normal range. And then you can just go right ahead and do your additional formatting that you normally do. Here we want to make that a currency range, and this has got a special number formatted Social Security. So we're going to right click, go to Format Cells, go to Special and Social Security number, press OK, boom, and then we're going to right click and we're going to center. There you have it, just like that. So now we removed all the blank rows, and what if, for some reason you go, oh man, I think I messed up some data. That's okay, because you still have the original source right here. What's the shortcut to remove the auto filters? Control-Shift-T. You got it. Off, on, off, on, off. And then finally, the step number 5, method number 5 for removing blank rows from your data. It's going to be the Maka way. Maka. What I mean by Maka, my friends, is this is the Hawaiian word for eyes. Eyes. I used to work with a bunch of Hawaiians in Anahola, Kauai, and Hawaiian homelands. I used to be a roofer way back in the day, and after the hurricane, I spent a lot of time roofing houses in Hawaiian homelands, and a lot of the Hawaiians taught me aloha, and they taught me the word Maka, among many other words, and Maka means eyes. So the 5th way for you to remove blank rows is just open the Maka and just look for them. I got this one, and 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 I'm just holding down the Control key to make multiple non-adjacent selections. And that one, and that one, and that one, and that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Ooh, I missed that one, that one, that one, that one. Did I get everything? Oh no, that one, that one. And we're almost done here. Boop, boop. And those. And then I just press Control minus to remove rows, Control plus to insert rows. It's the same thing for columns. Control minus to take them out, Control plus to insert them. So Control minus. There's all the blank rows are gone, just like that. Boom. And that's the 5th way of removing blank rows. So my friends, go ahead and you like these shortcuts? Go check out the link in the description, and or maybe the description is going to be right up there, down here or up there. And go check out our workshop that's coming up, my favorite 30 Excel power tips and tricks. Come on over here and check it out. It's all ready for you to go. Just sign up. There's $440 worth of content for $47, and you're going to get 2 live classes where I'm going to show you 30 of my favorite Excel power tips updated to work with Microsoft 365. And I'm always changing these depending on the needs of my students, because there's more than 30 power tips. You can also go check out don'tgetmadgetskills.com and sign up for our free live classes every month that teach. This is how important it is. The 7 steps to Excel success, the basics, so that you can lay a solid foundation. And then we can really start learning. So my friends, remember, no fear, have confidence, click, click, click. When in doubt, right click, nothing happens, left click, nothing happens, check your options. Remember, I love you. Keep on learning. And most of all, don't get mad, get skills. Aloha.